Good morning, YouTubers. This is Grumpy Old Ken, number 14. Yeah? I want to sort of talk a little bit and continue it on another week because it was the chain halfway through the century, 1950, and 1950-51 was important at my age, being 10, 11. For several things. One, we were sort of going towards new schools, new situations, very important, new challenges, new friends. In my case, when I changed school, it meant a bus to borrow, a bike ride to the next village, leave the bike, go on the bus, do your lessons in a new town, new place, go home again, bus, bike, paper round, etc. Very busy, very different. A time where you still used a chamber pot in the bedroom, and yet at the same time there were things like trams went about 1952, but we got new things like diesel trains coming in, or being tried at least. What else? You were still going to school until the new school in a smoky old Victorian place, 2 or 3 classrooms, poorly heated, minimum facilities, ink wells for ink. Yeah, but it was the end of the war, and beginning of a new era. End of rationing had gone in Germany, and yet we were still rationing here. It does make you wonder who won the war, but bone of contention to a lot of people, admittedly. But it made no difference to us as children, in a way. We knew nothing else. We went up the fields, collecting birds' eggs, fortunately now outlawed. We fished for sticklebacks, bullheads, etc. in the brook. What else did we do? General things that kids did. We were self-centred, gradually growing up, not really aware of girls, unless you were fairly mature, which I certainly wasn't. And off it went. 1951 brought the Festival of Britain, which was Britain's attempt to showcase itself, if you like, a big exhibition in London, which I never went to. In fact, I never went to London before the age, I have to think sometime, probably over 20, yeah. No, a little bit more. But it wasn't a place you normally associated with our life. What else? The Festival of Britain, I must quote this, the Daily Express, fairly miserable as usual, called it socialism gone mad. And yet it was a try to lift the spirits of the people. What a miserable attitude. The Methodists, as a matter of interest, Methodist Church tried to stop it happening on a Sunday. These were the times we lived in. Miss World came in very early in the 1950-ish. We're aware, to a certain extent, as young boys growing up, of all these ladies in provocative poses. The awakening of adolescence, I suppose. But we were more interested in Beano. What else? George VI died at 1952, was it? Yes, I think. Made a big difference again to the country, but to young boys at school, Not very much. London trams went, say no difference to me. Things were moving on, but for young lads ourselves, made very little difference. But the big thing would be the new school. We did the 11 plus. I was fortunate in a way to go to the local grammar school eventually, at Long Eaton Grammar. 6 people passed in the village that I was in, the village school. I was one of them. 2 questions I remember. One of the questions, yesterday, today was tomorrow, true or false? And the other question was, George Washington was born, married and died in the house that he built for himself, which could not be true. Strange. I must have had a glimmer of something because I passed and went on to the grammar school. Happy days, I suppose. I'll finish now. Beautiful day, cold, end of April. And I'll go on in some detail about the sort of life we led. Very carefree, too carefree really. I ought to have studied more when I went to the new school. We'll talk about that later. But happy days. We weren't unhappy. We had nothing, like the majority of the country, but we were happy. Cheers. Have a nice day.